Ladies and gentlemen, please join the Calvert Marching Band under the direction of Mr. Brett Welly in the singing of our alma mater. Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. On behalf of Head of School, Dr. Jeremy Marinas, and our Athletic Director, Paul Shoemaker, we welcome you to Frost-Kalnow Stadium, home of your Calvert Senecas. Please stand as we begin our contest. In the tradition of Calvert High School, we take a moment to recall all we do is made possible in and through Christ Jesus. We invite Jesus our Lord and Savior into this sporting event. Let us bow our heads in prayer. Lord Jesus, by your grace and love, you have the power to sanctify all things, making them holy and pleasing to our Father in heaven. Please, Lord, give us the strength that we never forget that our players, coaches, officials, and our visiting guests are all human beings trying to be their best. We pray that you make this sporting event a friendly and competitive gathering. Protect our athletes, guide our officials with right judgment, inspire our coaches, and may the fan support be charitable and in accord with the spirit of the gospel. All things are possible through your Son, so we ask this in his name. Amen. Please remain standing for the national anthem. Senecas will be receiving the first half kickoff. Back deep for the Senecas, number 23, Nick Cipher. Number 5, Hunter Yakel, and number 87, Noah Beaker. Number 44, Tiffin Calvert, kicking off for the Cadets.
Power on.
Somebody's not supposed to be out there. Yep. Number 53 is going to get off the field so they don't get called for the penalty.
Hilltop will kick off here, coming out in their white with red letters, the red numbers, and red helmets. Calvert and they're all gray and blue helmets.
Our favorite jerseys. Because as soon as they get sweaty, you really can't tell who's who. Return man catches the ball at the 35, brings it up to the 40, to the 45, carries a couple of defenders down to the 50-yard line, inside the 50, down to the 49-yard line. Nice return there.
Tackled by number 22, Dalton Bauer.
22 on the return. Leo Longo.
What a nice piece of
Senecas take over first and 10 from the Hilltop 49-yard line.
Set up shop. Right here on the 49.
3 receivers on the near side of the field. Jack Schultz in the shotgun formation. 1 back in the backfield with him. 1 receiver on the far side of the field. Jack Schultz back to pass. Loads it up. Going deep. He's got a man downfield. Headed it. Nearly picked off. But the receiver steals it away from the defensive back.
Griffin McEwen.
Wow. With the reception.
In on the coverage. You thought he came up with it, and it just bounced off of his hands and back into the hands of the Calvert receiver.
Nick Cipher with a huge reception down the right sideline.
And what a confident way to start this game off by Schultz, looking for a 6'4" senior receiver and finding him for pay dirt. Ball on the 13.
Schultz back to pass, swings it out to the left side. It's Nolan Beaker on the reception up to the 10, inside the 10 to the 9-yard line.
Reception.
The junior receiver, 6'3", 175. Played a pretty good role last year as a sophomore, now looking to step into a more prominent role
Richmond
in his junior campaign. They got a couple of pretty tall receivers there on the outside with Beaker and Cipher. A couple of good red zone targets there. 4 receivers set here for Tiffin Calvert. Schultz in the shotgun. Fakes the handoff, keeps it himself off the left side to the 5. Got a blocker and into the end zone.
Schultz with the keeper.
Corner of the end zone.
Senecas.
Touchdown run by Jack Schultz. Tiffin Calvert on the board first. 6-0 with 11:06 left to play here in the first quarter.
Yeah, I thought that play was going to get stifled behind the line when I saw Schultz kind of hesitate with the commit there. But man, when he was able to tuck the ball and run, he just lowered his head, found the edge. His field awareness is just incredible.
Bronski on the attempt.
You got a nice lead block there on the edge. And that's really what sprung him there. Snap is down, kick is up, and the kick is good.
7-0. 7-0 Seneca.
Tiffin Calvert.
That's what we talked about in the pregame, Nate. Tiffin Calvert, Seneca, they'll kill you with speed, and they're going to be quick to strike. And already now, the Cadets will be getting their drive and have to make up some points here just to get it back to a 0-0 ball game.
And that's, that's what you want. If you're Tiffin Calvert, you want get out there, get some rhythm right away, push that ball down the field, get some points on the board. They took their first possession of the ball game and took it right down the field and put it in the end zone. Of course, that was less than 50 yards, 49-yard drive there by Tiffin Calvert. But, that was impressive. Quarterback took command of that drive, two completions, and then ran it in a touchdown on his own. That was the Jack Schultz drive right there. give Tiffin Calvert a 7-0 lead to start this one.
Well, you want to talk about finding your rhythm. Again, this Tiffin Calvert squad, they've actually had the fortunate benefit of having a scrimmage this season against Swanton. Hilltop, unfortunately, hasn't had that live experience yet this season.
Return man fields it at the 8-yard line, up to the 15. And he's going to be driven out of bounds near the 18-yard line. Number 1 on the return, Griffin McEwen, senior.
18.
Short return there.
Hunter,
Give him about
5 for the
10
Senecas.
yards on the return.
And that's what we're talking about with this wide receiver core for the Cadets. They bring back a wealth of experience with Griffin McEwen and number 2, Whitman, the senior.
The Cadets come out in a pistol set. 2 receivers on the near side of the field. They take the snap. Quarterback Connor Schlosser.
Oh, goodness.
Handoff off the left side for about a 4-yard loss.
Alex Swanee, Richmond with the carry. Loss of 4.
Alex Swanee Richmond on the carry. Second down and 13 coming up here for Hilltop. The Cadets in their white uniforms, red helmets, red trim down the pants, and red numbers, black outline. Botch snap, ball's on the ground. It looks like Tiffin Calvert might have fell on top of it. They do.
Yep,
Seneca ball at the 10-yard line. Disaster strikes early for the Cadets.
Recovery, number 56, Josh Gase.
Josh Gase on the recovery for Tiffin Calvert.
And now again, the Senecas, after a quick strike to begin this game, have another chance right here from the red zone. Ball on the 10 to start this drive with a chance to go up even more if they're able to convert here.
Schultz in the shotgun formation once again. One back in the backfield, 2 receivers on each side of the field. Schultz takes the snap. Handoff up the middle and short gain, maybe a yard or 2. That's about it. Not much blocking up front there by defensive line.
Two.
Number 44,
Tackled by number
Tyson
7,
Pelfrey,
Creamer
able
for
to
the Cadets.
get in there, break up to the A-gap, and blow that play up from behind the line.
Like Leo Longo on the carry, if I'm not mistaken. Shotgun formation for the Senecas. Schultz back to pass, loads it up into the end zone, and it's dropped. He had his receiver, but unable to come up with the pass.
You get your hands on it, you got to catch it. That's the rule. It just bounced out of the bread basket.
Falls incomplete. 3rd and goal for the Senecas from the 8-yard line.
I believe that was Cipher dropped that one in the end zone. Nick Cipher, the intended receiver there.
The Cadets kind of came out in a 4-4 zone there. Blitz one of the linebackers.
Cipher found a nice soft spot there in the zone.
Yep.
Schultz found him. They just couldn't connect. Schultz back to pass, 3rd and goal. Loads it up into the end zone, and this time he's able to hang on to it. Same play, Nick Cipher with the score.
I tell you what, we talked about Nick Cipher tight being at 6'4". This division, not going to find a lot of matchups that are going to be as equal. Especially with that athleticism that he's able to tell this play.
So Cipher with a 10-yard touchdown. Actually, that was about 8 yards out. Bad snap. They're going to have to keep it. Running off the right side, trying to get the edge. He's going to dive for it, and he's not going to make it.
He's crushed right at the gate.
Conversion, no good. Took a hit at the end of that one, but he popped right back up.
Next point, no good. 9:35 left in the first quarter.
Again,
Senecas 13.
tenacious down there in the trenches.
Number 5, Hunter Yakel, was the holder trying to get it around the edge there. Unable to convert. So 13-0 Tiffin Calvert, 9:35 left to play here in the first quarter. Senecas out to an early lead.
Yeah, you talk about an early lead. Again, 9:35 left here in this first quarter of action. Still plenty of ball game left here for you, as the Cadets now kind of want to try to stop the bleeding early on, get some points on the board on their next drive. But what a tremendous way to kick off this 2020 season if you're the Calvert Senecas on top 13-0.
Outstanding start for Tiffin Calvert to start this 2020 campaign.
2.5 minutes time.
Deep kick fielded at the 3-yard line by the return man.
Oh,
Try to put a move on, slips on the turf, now cuts back to the 15, to the 20, and inside the 20 down to the 23-yard line. Griffin McEwen at first, Tommy, it looked like he was dead to rights at about the 10-yard line. But he found a little seam, cut back, and made something happen, and made it a decent return.
I had both the pleasure and displeasure of playing on this field, and I tell you what, those teams that aren't experienced with that turf, we call that the turf monster that gets you.
Mm-hmm. Well, you think you have that. You think you can cut. You know, it gives you the impression that it's got good traction, but sometimes it just, like you said, it just jumps up and gets you. Pistol set now for the Cadets. Handoff, whoa, right in the backfield right away. Big play by number 56, Josh Gase.
That's the second big play Gase has had here in this game, completely changing the tempo and turning it up for this Calvert Senecas defense. Man, what production that young man's had this far in this game.
And he was just right in there. Almost as soon as the ball was handed off to the running back, he was met by Gase. 4-yard loss on the play.
Second and 16 for the Hilltop.
Actually 5 yards. I would say 2nd and 15 coming up here. Cadets take the snap. They pitch it out to the left-hand side. It's complete to the receiver up to the 20, maybe the 21-yard line, but that's about it. Maybe a 2-yard gain. Set them up with a 3rd down and about 13.
Short gain on
Well,
the
the
play.
blocks were there, but good recognition by the secondary of Calvert. Able to stop that one. I believe that was Jackson Seisel up on the play.
I'll give you 2 guesses who that was cheering for him. 3rd and 13 coming up here for the Cadets. Seneca's defense has been stout to start this one out. Let's see if they can come up with a big 3rd down stop here. Schlosser in the pistol, takes the snap, false start. Dead ball penalty. It's going to go against the offense.
Flag on the play.
Dead ball. False start. Offense. 3rd down.
So that'll move them back to about the 17-yard line. And make it about 3rd and 18. 13-0 Tiffin Calvert, 7:55 or 45 left to play here in the first quarter.
And that's what we talk about, that game time experience. Cadets unable to communicate, cost them some yards there.
High snap, but they're able to get it under control. They pitch it out on the right-hand side. It's complete to the receiver, Swanee Richmond. Short gain, maybe back to about the 20-yard line, but that's about it.
Well, the way that play's designed, Nate, is you have to commit to running it up and out onto the outside. You cannot expect to cut back up
a lot
in
of
the
help
middle,
from the rest of the
especially when
Senecas.
that linebacker's chasing that to that backside of the play.
So, Hilltop set to punt. First time we've seen a punt on the field for the Cadets.
And their last drive ended with a
Cipher deep for the Senecas.
recovered by Gase.
Nick Cipher back deep to return. Fair catch called for and received at the 45-yard line. Inside Calvert territory, Senecas take over with great field position.
Cipher
Actually
with the
inside
fair
Hilltop
catch.
territories.
Senecas take over 1st and 10 from the Hilltop 45-yard line.
Great field position for Tiffin Calvert to start this one out.
Thus far, the Cadets looking for an answer for that talented wide receiver core that the Senecas have, as Nick Cipher. Even Schultz recognizes a mismatch down there in the secondary between Cipher and the defender, and he's exploiting it right now, and they're really going.
3 receivers on the far side of the field. Shotgun.
Pulling guard, nice block.
Handoff goes up the middle. Short gain.
Number
Give him up
22,
to about the
Leo
41-yard
Longo
line.
carry.
Leo Longo on the carry.
Big Clay Con
Calvert for the
clearing the
Cadets.
way for him.
2nd and 7 for the Senecas.
That was a nice counter.
Second down and 7 coming up here for Tiffin Calvert. 6:18 left to play here in the first quarter. 13-0 Tiffin Calvert.
They can punish you with the run as well.
Takes the snap. Fakes the handoff, now keeps it himself. Off the left side to the 40, 35, cuts it out of bounds. He's got the first down. Down around the 32-yard line. Nice gain there by Schultz.
With the keeper. First down, Senecas.
About a 10-yard gain, close to about 10 yards for Schultz. He's been effective when he has to pull it down and run with it. He's shown that speed to get to that second level. That's very important in this Steve Reeser offense. Schultz, back to pass. They set up a wide receiver screen.
Oh, look at that,
Cipher's got
Cipher.
blockers out in front to the 25, to the 20, cuts inside to the 15, and he's down at the 15-yard line. Nick Cipher
Completed number
with a nice
23,
catch and
Nick
run.
Cipher.
Cut across the defense there.
Yeah, like a newborn puppy looking for daylight. He finds it and he burns the Cadets for big yards there. Resets the chains and puts the ball at the 15 now.
Three receivers on the near side of the field. Shotgun formation now for Tiffin Calvert. One receiver on the far side, that's Nick Cipher. Schultz back to pass.
And blitz coming.
Looking. Loads it up. They got a screen out to the left-hand side. He's got blockers out in front. Longo to the 5, and he stretches out, but just shy of the goal line. They'll mark him down right at the 2.
Ethan Varney, number 4,
But we got a flag on the field. Hang on.
Longo with
saving
the
that one
reception.
for the Cadets.
Tackled at the 2-yard line. Flags on the play.
Let's see a couple different flags down. We both saw the same thing here, it looks like.
Maybe some extra.
Blocking back.
Block in the back against
10-yard
Tiffin
penalty.
Calvert.
Spot of the foul. First down.
Should still be a first down because it's a spot foul, but it'll move the ball. It'll move the spot of the ball back.
First and 10, Senecas from the Hilltop 13-yard line.
So they gained a couple yards. First and 8 coming up here. Shotgun formation. Schultz standing back there with Longo. Takes the snap. Loads it up to the right. High pass. Gets it out to the right. It's complete. Blake Ronsky on the reception.
Short pass
gain.
completed number 12.
Nate, again, when you bait those
Ronsky.
linebackers in like that, like you talked about, high pass, you can't just kind of lob that one up there. That play has to be quick.
It's got to be a quick hit right out to the outside. You'd almost rather lead him low than lead him high, because you don't want to expose him for that big hit.
2nd and 6 for the Senecas at the Hilltop 13-yard line.
Depends how much your quarterback likes you, I guess.
2nd and 6 coming up here. Ball at the 11. We're inside of 5 minutes to play in the first quarter. Calvert leading 13-0. Empty backfield set now for Jack Schultz. He brings a man in motion and
Dead ball. Delay.
delay a game
Offense.
against Tiffin Calvert.
Dead ball.
So that'll move the ball back to about the 16-yard line.
If you're the Senecas, when you get down here,
2nd and 11 for the Senecas.
this is not the
at the
direction that you
Hilltop
want to be going.
16-yard line.
This is where you lay it on. You got to be disciplined down in the red zone.
Oh, Schultz on the keeper.
Turf monster got him.
Something got him. Short gain up to about the 12 and a half.
Jack Schultz
Say
on the
the
keeper.
13-yard line is where he's down at.
Gain of 4. 3rd and 12 for the Senecas.
3rd and about 8 coming up here for the Senecas.
Yeah, and just trying to get this first down that started on the 13 has just been a chore for the Senecas. And who was it that called that timeout?
Hilltop.
Well,
That'll be their first time out of the game.
this is a big down, money down for the Cadets as again
Ladies and
find
gentlemen,
themselves down 13 to nothing. 4:16 remaining in this first
To reflect
quarter.
on the passing
Do
of
not want to be down by three
Adrian
scores
Berman,
going into this second
who
quarter,
passed away earlier this week.
because then you're making up
Paul
ground
Calvert's
just to get it
greatest
back into your
supporters,
game.
known for his relentless dedication to
Well,
sell
you
tickets
control
for
the
just
game.
about everything,
Yeah,
including the
absolutely.
spring raffle, reverse raffle, basketball tickets, football tickets.
So Hilltop with a wise timeout
Please
here.
keep Paul and his
It's kind of a
family in
situation
your
where
prayers.
Calvert's fallen into a little bit of a lull here after
Also,
some
we'd like
momentum
to
in
keep
this
the
drive.
memory of Mick Tolman,
Got them all the way down inside the 10. Now
Calvert
here they are
family and
backed up to about the
Tiffin
13-yard line
who passed away
and
last
facing a
night.
3rd down and 7. This is a
And then
situation
finally,
where, you know, if you're Hilltop
receive
coach
purple ribbon on
Nate
players
Massey, you
and
want to pull your
fans.
guys off to the side.
Please
You want to say, hey
continue to
guys,
send your
this is a
prayers
chance where we can
to
turn this
support
momentum
the
around. This is where we can
players
turn
and
the
their
tide
daughters,
of this game
Anna
and shift
and Olivia,
some of that momentum back to our
as
sideline. If you guys come up with a big
continues
stop
this
here,
fight against pancreatic
don't tell them what could
cancer.
happen.
Thank you
Oh,
for all your
absolutely. You
support.
got to play a full 48 minutes, but you know that's what makes football so great are those big moments, those money downs, and that's one of those situations right here for the Cadets. As you play this human chess match here.
Cipher keeps it. Oh, he's going to throw it to Schultz. And I think he's going to be out just short of the goal line, right at about the half-yard line. Cipher took the handoff from Schultz. Schultz on a little bit of a, what do we call that, a Philly special kind of play there. Quarterback goes off to the left-hand side, goes out for a pass. Cipher finds him. Schultz just unable to get it inside the pylon. That's the oop. Is that the oop to you? Okay. So 4th and goal, they're going to go for it. Actually, no, 1st down. What am I thinking? They got that first. It was not a goal situation the last time. So Longo is going to punch it in from a half-yard out. Leo Longo with a 1-yard touchdown run puts Tiffin Calvert up 19-0 with 4:05 left to play here in the first quarter. Big start for this Tiffin Calvert offense.
Yeah, fast start, quick offense. I wouldn't so much say that this Calvert squad just isn't quick, they're sudden. That extra point is good.
Bronski point after attempt is good. Senecas 20, Hilltop Cadets nothing.
How many years now in a row has Aronsky kicked footballs for this Calvert squad?
Well, there's definitely been.
Tradition runs deep here in Tiffin, Ohio, for the Calvert Senecas, I tell you that much.
Once again, don't forget, folks, this coming Monday, we'll be back in studio live for the Scouting Report. It's our new Monday night show right here on WTTF, live in studio. Every week we'll be calling a different coach or athletic director in the area, getting the scoop on what's going on with their school. And we'll break down all the weekend in sports and get you set for the upcoming week. That's the Scouting Report this Monday from 7 to 8 p.m. right here on WTTF, AM 1600 and FM 93.3. Kickoff is away, fielded at the 11-yard line, brought back to the 20, to the 25. Return man up to the 30, breaks a tackle, 35-40, and he's driven out of bounds close to the 45-yard line. Nice return there by Chase Whitman.
And Chase Whitman
Number 2, Chase
on
Whitman
this, on that
with
kick
the
return gives the Cadets good field position to start this drive. It's up to the Cadets now to make the most of it.
Forced out of bounds by number
As
67.
again, we talk about their
Bronski.
trying to slow the bleeding, they need to get on the board and get some points up. That way they can kind of get back to their game plan.
First and 10, Hilltop from their own 42-yard line.
The Cadets take over at the 42. Back to pass, Schlosser with a nice pass. Has a man, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5, and he's cut down inside the 5 at the 4-yard line.
Number 88, Isaac Baumgartner. Tremendous
Pass completed number 88, Isaac
job in
Baumgartner.
coverage.
He just found that soft spot right there. And then what I thought was really impressive was his ability to break tackles and keep going after that catch. I mean, he probably added another 20 yards after the catch. Look at this interesting formation here. A couple of blockers over there on the left side. Setting up the wide receiver screen, but the defense reads that one well. It's pretty, I mean, that's interesting. They had a couple of offensive linemen over there on the left-hand side on the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
Set up a wide receiver over there with him as kind of like a little triangle, a little trips package. And then just took those linemen out and blocked with them. Threw it out to the wide receiver. That was pretty interesting. Didn't work, but
the wide receiver screen intended for Chase Whitman, swallowed up by a sea of blue Calvert defenders. But the Cadets are driving now.
Once again, they're going to do it again. They've got a couple of big offensive linemen out to the left-hand side. Looks like they're going to try to set up that screen to the left, maybe. That's the play. To the left.
Oh, I think he got tripped up before.
Yeah, he just back to the line of scrimmage. That's it.
Here we go.
Number 2, Chase Whitman on the reception. Not able to do a whole lot with that.
Pass completed to number 1.
Actually, no, that was 1. Griffin McEwen on the reception.
Tackled by number 66.
66, Sam Krajewski in on the tackle there.
3rd and 2 for the Hilltop at the 2-yard line of the Senecas.
3rd and 2, we talk about those money down situations. You're knocking on Calvert's door. You got to kick it down at this point.
Pistol set. Schlosser
Keeps it
himself and buries his head into the end zone.
I think the Cadets are in.
He is in. Touchdown, Hilltop.
Hilltop gets on the board now.
Number 11.
Chops away at that deficit.
Touchdown, Hilltop.
And they needed that one, Tommy.
Oh, absolutely.
Can't let this one get much more out of hand.
2-possession game now.
Once again, going with this interesting formation here. Because you see they have 3 linemen lined up on the line of scrimmage in traditional form, but then 2 off to the left.
How can you not?
And now the defense is just all over that. I mean, there's just, once that's been sniffed out, you're not going to get that to go. I don't see how that's going to be an effective play.
Trying to catch the Seneca sleeping there, but to no avail.
That's got to be a really fast pass to get out there in order for that to be effective, because the defense is just there just instantly. So 20-6, Tiffin Calvert with 2:37 left to play, leading Hilltop by 14 here in the first quarter.
And again, you almost, at this level, Division 7, a lot of times you feel like having a kicker is a luxury. So, I mean, the Senecas, we talked about the Ronskis earlier, kicking salt to each other at the dinner table in their family for years. They have that luxury of kickers. Hilltop, that's been yet to be seen, as they went for 2 on their first touchdown there.
Mm-hmm.
Back deep to the Senecas. Nick Cipher and Hunter Yakel.
Nick Cipher and Hunter Yakel back deep to return for Tiffin Calvert. Once again, we were here last night.
Kicking off
Had
for
a
the
weather
Cadets.
delay to start that one. Started right on time today. Beautiful conditions for football here today. Folks, we are streaming portions of tonight's broadcast live on Facebook as well as on our YouTube channel. You can find us, just search WTTF Sports on either Facebook or YouTube. Our Facebook page actually has the direct link to the broadcast. If you go to our Facebook page, you can follow that link for a better quality feed.
Little squib kick there.
As the return man brings it up to about the 40-yard line. That's where Tiffin Calvert will take over. Looks like number 15, Tyler Burlekamp on the return.
Number 15, Tyler Burlekamp on the return. First and 10, Senecas on their own.
Once again, you can find us on Facebook, and we just posted the link to the broadcast here tonight for a better quality feed for the video as far as that's concerned. But you should be listening to us just fine as far as audio is concerned. Schultz back to pass.
Loads it up.
And it is incomplete, looking for his man right around the 40-yard line.
Is that Beaker?
Schultz pass. So Nolan Beaker falls incomplete. Second attempt for the Senecas.
We talk again, one of those big weapons by the Senecas. 6'3", 175 pounds in this junior campaign.
I mean, you got a lot of really tall targets here. You got Beaker, 6'3", Cipher, 6'4". I mean, there's a couple other. I mean, Blake Ronski's standing there, 6'3". I mean, there's some big targets for Jack Schultz. Schultz,
I tell you
hit
this
as
much.
he throws, and that one was a wobbler. He had his man deep down the field, though. He was looking for Cipher, and he had Cipher wide open, but was hit as he throws. And that's what you got to do as the defense.
Well, the
You got to
defensive
get there and make the play before he's able to get the ball out of his hand.
The defensive effort, again, by this Tyson Pelfrey, we've said his name a lot on that cadet side, put a hit on Schultz, kind of jarred that pass out of his hands. Could have fell into the hands of a Hunter Luke, but just kind of sleeping there in the second.
Schultz, deep pass down the left sideline, incomplete. Trying to find Jackson Sizlove.
Half a step behind on
Schultz
that
pass
one.
intended for number 11, Jackson Sizlove, falls incomplete.
Just out of the reach of the outstretched arms of Sizlove. This will bring up a 4th down situation for Tiffin Calvert. Out comes the punting unit. Indians come up with a big win today, 2-1 over St. Louis. Pushes their record now to 21-12. It was a 3-way tie atop the AL Central yesterday. All 3 teams at 20-12.
Look at that, end over end.
Beautiful punt. And it's fielded at the
he's-
10, and he's going to go out of bounds at about the 13-yard line.
Griffin
Not a very
McEwen.
wise decision there by Griffin McEwen. I don't know, Tommy. Even if he would have let that go, it probably would have went out of bounds somewhere near the 5-yard line probably. But it just didn't look like a wise decision to take that and try to run with it.
He's athletic enough to make something out of it, as again, he's kind of scooped that up, kept his feet in bounds, tried to turn it up. But now the Cadets, they're going to have to put their hard hat on, grab their lunch pail, and go to work, as they're actually going to spot this at the 10.
They're going to say he slipped out of bounds right where he caught the ball. So another pistol set here for the Cadets. 2 receivers on the far side of the field, 2 backs in the backfield. Slosser back to pass. He's hit it. He's hit
man.
and down in the backfield. Dropped for a loss back at the 2-yard line.
Number 67, Quentin Ronski on the tackle.
When Ronski comes through.
I thought that was 57. Claycon, maybe?
Well, nonetheless, 2nd and 17 for the Cadets.
All the way back at the 3-yard line. Dangerous territory here for Hilltop. Running back met in the backfield, dropped for a loss. There's not much real estate back there for him to lose, but
Number 32,
he's back to the 2-yard line.
Haynes on the carry.
Well, they're going to say forward progress to him. I have no idea how he got back to the line of scrimmage. He was met in the backfield and fell sideways, so I don't know.
Well, never a good thing when you're in the shadow of your own goalpost as the Cadets facing a 3rd and 17 now. They just need to, actually they're forced to get a first down on this situation. I can't imagine they're going to try to go for it on 4th if they're able to get some yards here. They call timeout.
They're going to have to. They didn't have much time
Cadets
on the play clock there.
Again, we come back to that game time experience once again. You know, miscommunication by the Cadets, especially down in their own territory. You gotta be able to communicate and communicate clearly. Those week 1 mistakes, they can bite you early on. But of course, this season, the adjustments made. 6-game regular season, automatic ticket punched into the playoffs from there. But again, you don't have that luxury of trying to come into mid-season form. You gotta kind of get out of the gate early and get into a rhythm like you talked about earlier, Nate.
Yeah, and that's kind of hard for a lot of these teams because you got to think for the last 3 months they've been just kind of in this wait mode, like wait and work and wait mode, because they're still putting in the work, but they're also waiting to see exactly how the landscape was going to lay out for the season. And now all of a sudden, 2 weeks ago they get the, okay, let's go ahead. And now it's just hit the ground running, and it's gonna take a little bit for some of these kids to kind of get their rhythm. You know what I mean? Get into that.
Yeah, it's like we talk.
Yeah.
It's like we talk about. It's okay to go into the beginning of the season with those unknowns. It's at the end of the season, if there's still those unknowns, that's when you start questioning yourself. But thus far, the game plan's been working for the Senecas. Up 20-6 here.
And off the right side.
And they're just going to try to get out of a dangerous area in order for them to punt.
Isaac Baumgartner on the run. Gets it up to about the 7-yard line.
Number 88, Isaac Baumgartner on the tackle, or on the carry. Tacked by number 53, Colin McCarty.
So a 4th down coming up here. You'd figure to see the punt unit.
That Colin McCarty there on the stop, number 53, he's going to be fun to watch in the next upcoming years. A sophomore right now, but already 6'4", 210 pounds.
That is the end of the first quarter with Tiffin Calvert leading Hilltop 20-6. We'll step aside, take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're listening to high school football right here on your Seneca County Sports Connection, WTTF. All right, we're back here at Frost-Kalnow Stadium, the start of the second quarter.
Senecas take over 1st and 10. on the Cadets 30.
Short punt by Hilltop put the Senecas at beautiful field position. The Hilltop 38-yard line is where they're going to start out this possession. You couldn't ask for better field position here. 3 wide receivers on the near side of the field for Jack Schultz, senior quarterback, in the shotgun formation. 1 back in the backfield with him. Schultz takes the snap. Quarterback keeper up the middle. He's got some room. 25 down around the 20-yard line. Schultz. Impressive effort there by the senior quarterback. 15-yard gain there. Actually, 18-yard gain.
Ethan Varney.
Coach Reeser calls in the play for Taronsky.
Senecas 1st and 10 on the Hilltop 20-yard line.
Like we talked about, Nate, it's just, you almost forget about how big this wide receiver core is for Calvert. Lots of weapons in the wheelhouse for Jack Schultz. Oh, and there's one of them. As Ronsky comes across the middle there.
Schultz pass complete. Number 12, Blake Ronsky.
And that'll set the Senecas up with a 1st and goal situation at the 8-yard line.
For Hilltop.
Ronsky kind of came back in, got a step on McEwen, and then forced Ethan Varney to come down. But still, just split the defenders and able to come away with a 1st down and set the Senecas up at the 8-yard line.
Discussion here between the officials and Coach Steve Reeser. Trying to figure out what's going on.
Again, 11-16 here in the 2nd quarter of action.
Timeout called. Not exactly sure what's going on here.
As the referees kind of discuss and have this conversation, it gives the Calvert Senecas really time to dial in whatever play they're going to have in store for the Cadets there at the 8-yard line.
This is a big defensive stand here for Hilltop because they're going to need to come up with a stop here,
1st
Tommy.
and goal from the Hilltop 8-yard line.
Yeah, it's a lot easier to make up 14.
Schultz in the shotgun. 1 back with him. Takes the snap. Rolls to his right. Gets it away into the end zone, and it is complete for a touchdown. Tiffin Calvert.
Number 87,
Nolan Beaker.
Touchdown, Seneca.
On the touchdown reception. Makes it 26-6. Tiffin Calvert with 11:08 left to play here in the 1st half.
Yeah, that one-on-one matchup between Beaker and Baumgartner. Not too many times in the end zone you're going to win that against the 6'3" Beaker to that 5'10" defender.
Quinn on for the point after attempt.
Quinn Ronsky on for the point after. The ball is up and the kick is good. 27-6. Tiffin Calvert now leads
Now the score is
by 21 with 11:08 left to play here in the 1st half. We got some scores from around the area from last night. Some surprises, I think, Tommy, with some of these scores. You know, Oak Harbor made a deep run in the state playoffs last year. Bellevue upset them yesterday, 14-8 in the 1st game of the year. Fremont Ross out to a big start to start their season, 35-21 over Oregon Clay. Mohawk all over Upper Sandusky, 42-0. Wow. Cardinal Stritch came back and beat Fremont St. Joe 21-13. It was right at the end of that game in the 4th quarter when they came back to win. Lakota with a big win, 49-26. Monroeville beats Western Reserve 28-21.
Whitman.
And then
Kicking off
Seneca
for the
East over
Senecas,
Buckeye
number
Central,
67.
35-16. Margaretta falls to Ottawa Hills, 40-36. Colonel Crawford beats Cary yesterday, 17-6, or I'm sorry, 16-7. Clyde over Willard, 35-0. Norwalk falls to Huron last night, 21-7. And then Edison over Sandusky as well, another upset, 28-13. Hilltop brings it back, past the 35, up to the 39-yard line. Number 2,
Whitman
Chase Whitman on the return.
Tackled by
Honestly,
number
really got
11.
his leg into
Number
it. He returned that right from the 12.
Nice.
But again, nice return there by Whitman.
Hilltoppers take over on
You have
first
one
Cadets
game
on
Set
their
up shop
own
at the
39-yard
39-yard line.
You have one game in progress right now, Shelby and Ontario, with the Whippets leading the Warriors 21-0 in the second quarter. So, Hilltop takes over at their own 39-yard line. 1st and 10. Connor Schlosser in the pistol set. 3 receivers on the near side of the field. 1 man in the backfield. Schlosser takes the snap. Looking. Loads it up on the right side. It's complete. He's got Baumgartner. Baumgartner brings it up to about the 40-yard line, maybe. Baumgartner, short gain.
And those bubbles,
Give him
those
one.
Pass completed
have
to
just
number 88,
this haven't been there for Hilltop
Baumgartner.
tonight.
Tackled by number 85.
If that's a big part of their
Lead
offense,
for
they've
the
really got to
Senecas.
find a way to work on that over the next week or two, because it's definitely something that
Second and 9
it
for the
isn't
Cadets
working here today.
at their
Now, I don't know if
own
that's just because the
39-yard
defense
line.
knows it's coming, but
Yeah, I mean, the defense
some of this stuff is pretty predictable just from up
continually
here.
makes the adjustment.
2 men in the
Calvert.
backfield.
Showing blitz here.
Schlosser gets rid of it, nearly intercepted. If he'd have picked that one off, he'd have taken that one back for 6. I think that's what he was thinking about. You can still see him sitting there like, oh,
Broken up by Camilla Burley.
he knew it. Nolan Beaker nearly had a hand on that one. 3rd down and 9 coming up.
They play that because it's the money down.
That's right. Well, you've seen him go like this. Cadets bring a man in motion. Oh, and he is slammed in the backfield. Griffin McEwen met by a horde of Senecas.
I thought,
McEwen
for a second
on
there, I
the
thought he
carry.
faked it.
Tackled by number
But no, he did
57.
hand off the pitch.
Clay Kahn on the tackle. Also in there, Tyler Burlekamp.
4th and 14 for the Cadets.
Got 4th and 14 coming up here. Hilltop going to bring out the punt unit. 9:35 left to play here in the first half. 27-6, Tiffin Calvert leading Hilltop.
Cipher back deep for the Senecas.
What a great way to start this weekend for both these Tiffin schools. If Calvert's able to come away with a win here.
Again, 9:23 here left in this first half. We still got a lot of football ahead of us.
Offense.
The Cadets, this is their 4th straight possession where they've punted.
Delay game from the Cadets.
And those
Hilltop.
those week 1 mistakes, they just keep turning their ugly head up for the Cadets.
Griffin McEwen gets the punt away, and it is fair caught at the 43-yard line by Nick Cipher. And that's
Cipher
where
with the fair catch.
Senecas will take over.
That's what we talked about, the
Senecas take over on
benefit
their own 43-yard line.
having that time to actually go out there and play at varsity speed. We talked about earlier, Calvert having that scrimmage, able to get some of that live action from Swanton. But again, we're watching the growing pains for this Hilltop squad on display, as they haven't had any game time experience thus far this season. And it's been prevalent, you know, these delay of game penalties, keep driving them back. But the defense by Calvert, I mean, they're making that job all the more harder for him as the ball comes out of his hands.
Loses it. He wasn't even, nobody hit him. He just He was running, and it just popped right out of his hand. Leo Longo
Number 22, Leo
fumbles
Longo
it
on
and
the
then
carry.
recovers his
Gain of
own
9,
fumble.
2nd and 1 for the Senecas.
And then picks up 9 yards. Carries it up to the 48-yard line inside Hilltop territory.
This Calvert squad, they're averaging 8 yards per play.
Shotgun formation. Jack Schultz back there in the backfield with one back. Schultz back to pass. Out to the left-hand side. It's complete to his receiver. Sizlove has it up past the 45, up to the 43-yard line.
Schultz's pass complete to
4-yard gain.
number 11,
Give him about
Jackson
5.
Sizlove.
Good for the first down.
Sizlove had to turn in for that one, and then when he had it back to the defender, forcing him to have to kind of make a turnaround there, try to get it upfield, but it's good enough to convert for that first down.
Ball marked at the 43-yard line. 3 receivers on the near side of the field for Tiffin Calvert.
4 down linemen for the Cadets, showing a backer blitzing.
Cipher down the left sideline, and it is incomplete. Should have been holding on the defense, but they're going to let him play, I think, on that one.
Schultz's pass broken up by number 11.
Schultz is, a couple of those plays, it seems like maybe the wind's catching him or something, because he gets that ball up there, it just kind of dies. It flutters out, and a couple of different plays where, Cipher's had to come back for the ball. Maybe it's just an instance of timing, or, maybe the ball's just slipping out of his hands, but we'll see if we get that corrected by the end of the game, because it's definitely been an issue. He hasn't been able to push the ball down the field like we're used to seeing with this quarterback.
Well, if you're joining us on the radio, the Senecas are driving left to right on your radio dial, and you do have some of that wind playing against the Senecas as they're driving into it.
Hunter Yackel on the carry up to the 36-yard line.
Tackled by number
Let's say
33,
37 is where he's down.
Wyatt Belts. 3rd and 4 for the Senecas.
3rd down and 4 coming up now for Tiffin Calvert. Three receivers on the near side of the field. Blake Ronsky, Jackson Sizlove, and Nolan Beaker on the right side. Schultz going to keep it himself off the right side. He's got the first and then some to the 25, to the 20, 15, to the 10, and he's driven out of bounds inside the 10 down to the 6-yard line. Jack Schultz with a nice quarterback run.
Jack Schultz on the keeper.
Close to 30 yards on that.
Pushed out by number 32, Andon Haynes.
Yeah, and again, when he decides to pull it in, I always talk about how I like this Jack Schultz. Meaner than a junkyard dog. That old dog named Schultz.
On the Cadets 6
Again, you let him off the leash, he'll run you down too. And that's exactly what Jack Schultz did on that. When he decides to turn it up, good luck.
Shotgun set, 3 receivers on the far side. Schultz loads it up to the left, incomplete. A little too high for Sizlove there.
Schultz's pass intended for number 11, Jackson Sizlove.
It might have been complete to one of the taller receivers.
2nd and goal for the
just
Senecas
a little bit
from
too
the
high
6-yard line.
Jeff Hammer's not a football player, though. As he underhand throws the ball back to the officials. Now, I thought the ball was supposed to stay with the team.
To be fair, he got a camera and everything. That's more expensive than the Wilson.
Shotgun set here for the Senecas. Schultz, pitch out to the left, fumble, and they recover the fumble, but
luckily for the Senecas,
that was an ugly pitch.
Yeah, bowling shoe ugly by Schultz on that pitch out.
It's kind of a shovel pitch.
Fumble on a pitch.
Could have been disastrous for the Senecas.
So they'll spot the ball at the 7-yard line. 3rd and goal coming up here for Tiffin Calvert. 27-6. Senecas up by 21 with 6:30 left to play here in the first half.
The Cadets are definitely showing their grit as Calvert Senecas are trying to drive in to pile it on to this score here in Week 1 live in Frost-Kalnow Stadium to kick off Week 1 of high school football.
Timeout called. Tiffin Calvert wants to talk things over. We'll keep it right
Timeout,
here
Calvert.
with 6:16 left to play here in the first half.
And as they take a timeout, we're going to go ahead and take a timeout to thank our community-minded sponsors who help bring high school football to you each and every week right here on WTTF. We want to thank UIS Insurance and Investments, Chris Schaefer Insurance, Coppas Motors, Dundor Plumbing and Heating, First Bank of Tiffin, Fort Ball Pizza Palace, Great Lakes Ace Hardware, Harrison Price Insurance, Integrated Orthopedics, Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken, Lee's Floor Covering, Kubler Shoes, Coon Sales and Service, NWO Orthopedics, Reineke Tiffin Ford, Rogers Flowers, Superior Credit Union, Tiffin Brake and Wheel, Tiffin Deluxe Services, Tiffin University, Your Legacy Federal Credit Union, and the post game brought to you by Frozone Frozen Yogurt. All community-minded sponsors that help bring high school football to you each and every week right here on WTTF.
Shotgun set, 3rd and goal for the Senecas. They bring a man in motion. Schultz back to pass, loads it up, left side of the end zone. Oh, and it is into the end zone for the touchdown. Receiver came down with a catch at the 1. Momentum, he was carrying him backwards, but he sprung forwards and leaped and stretched the ball past the goal line for the touchdown. Great play there.
Yeah, that's just a backbreaker if you're the Cadets, as Tiffin Calvert won't be denied. 4 straight trips to the red zone, each time finding pay dirt.
And the extra point is up, and it is good. Makes your score 34-6. Tiffin Calvert.
Your score now. You're Calvert.
By 28 now here. 6:09 left to play in the first half.
Hilltop, now they have to be careful here with 6:09 remaining here in the half. They got to get some more points on the board because, again, if the Calvert Senecas, if they're able to get some more points on the board, the Cadets might be facing another enemy there in the second half. This one's starting to get out of hand.
They definitely have to find something on offense here. They had the one drive where they were able to march it down the field and capitalize. I've been able to get out of their own way. A lot of, negative yardage early in the series, and that, like you said, Tommy, it's just hard to keep digging yourself out of the same hole over and over and over again. But these Cadets have got to find some kind of rhythm on this drive and find a way to kind of get the bleeding under control here. Keep this within a certain amount. I mean, you get above, we're already at a 4-score game now. You start getting this any more, if you start stretching this lead out any more than this, it's just, it becomes a point where you start getting the backups and you start getting the younger kids playing time. That's not what you want in your first game of the year.
Well, Griffin McEwen and Chase Whitman, they can definitely act as a tourniquet to this Cadet team as they try to get this offense rolling. As Slosher, you just got to communicate with your guys and get them on the right page. It almost seems like at moments when things aren't going their way, they just kind of abandon and go to that wide receiver screen, that option.
A little bit of a pistol set here. High snap deep into the backfield, and they got it. The Hilltop Cadets
Swanee Richmond still
able
on
to recover, and they actually made something out of that. I don't know how, but they got the ball up to about the 42-yard line.
And there's a flag on the
flag at the end of the play.
Carry, tackled by number 11, Jackson Sizlove. Flag on the play.
We got some laundry on the field. We'll see what the call is. Just an ugly sequence of events there, but somehow they were able to make something out of nothing. Personal foul, face mask at the end of the run. Going to go against the Senecas.
First down.
So that will tack on 15 yards at the end of the run. And that should put the Cadets somewhere right around the 42-yard line. Yep.
That's going to give them an automatic first down.
So the Cadets their second time in Calvert territory here in the first half, with a golden opportunity here, gifted by the Senecas defense.
1st and 10, Hilltop for the Senecas 42-yard line.
Pistol set here for Connor Schlosser. High snap once again, but he gets it under control. And this time, nothing doing there. Actually lost about 3 yards. So back to the 45-yard line.
I think we might be
Number
making
11, Connor
a substitution.
Schlosser,
Shane Spires
by a slew of Senecas.
comes in to reprieve Trenton Funk, who's in a funk there at center. It's 2 high snaps in a row. Could have went for worse for the Cadets, but that face mask got them on the other side of the field in Calvert territory.
They bring a man in motion. Schlosser takes the snap, fakes the handoff, rolls to the left, gets the pass away, and it is incomplete. Sizelev on the coverage on the left side. They were trying to find Griffin McEwen on the connection.
Intended for number 1, Griffin McEwen, ball's incomplete.
That's something that's new about this year is, you know, if the ball goes out of bounds, if it goes out of play, the team that has the ball, they can retrieve that ball. No fans are allowed to touch it. The officials are trying to limit contact with the football. So the team that has the possession, they have to keep possession of the football, which includes the receiver running it down out of bounds. 3rd and 13 coming up here. Ball at the 45-yard line.
Calvert's going to stack them outside backers.
Connor Schlosser fakes the handoff, gets it out to the right-hand side, left-hand side. It's incomplete. Isaac Baumgartner unable to come up with that one.
4th down for the Cadets.
4th and 13 for the Cadets.
They do have some seniors out there. You would think with, you know, the experience that they have, they might be able to get something going on the edges, but they just are not able to get that ball out there quick enough. And Connor Schlosser, the senior quarterback, just has not really been able to get into much of a rhythm. It seems like as soon as he drops back to pass, he's got 2 or 3 Senecas right in his face. It's hard to get into rhythm when you got that much pressure. Schlosser back to pass. Once again, pressure. Has to step up. He's going to keep it himself. Past the 40, down inside the 40 to the 37-yard line is where he'll be cut down. And that'll bring up 4th down.
Schlosser on the carry. Tackled by number 23, Nick Cipher. Turnover on down. Senecas take over.
That's a turnover on downs. Tiffin Calvert will take over.
1st and 10, Senecas on their own 37-yard line.
.419 left to play here in the first half. Stick around for the halftime show.
Go defense!
We'll break down this first half, get you set for the second half of action live here at Frost-Kalnow Stadium. Jack Schultz in the shotgun formation, takes the snap, loads it up to the right-hand side. It's complete. Nolan Beeker breaks the tackle. Up to the 40, 45, to the 50, 45, to the 40, and out of bounds. Nolan Beeker.
Schultz's pass completed to number 87.
Great
Nolan
play there
Beeker.
by Beeker as he
Tackled by
broke a
number
tackle.
33, Wyatt
I mean,
Phelps.
when he caught that ball, he had a defender right on him. And it was a quick hit. It was one of those little wide receiver screens out to the right side. But Beeker broke a tackle, and after he broke that tackle, he turned that into about a 25-yard gain.
Yeah,
And
that shows you what happens when you're too high and you're trying to arm tackle. You're going to just get shed off by the ball carrier like nothing.
Schultz,
Tremendous job by Beeker.
back to pass. They set up the screen, and it is incomplete for Longo. Nice read there by Jaden McClary. He was right there in the backfield and caused some havoc for Longo there. I think Longo probably could have made that play had it not been for McClary being right there in front of him to kind of break that one up. Might not have got a hand on it, but he caused the incompletion, I'd say.
Beeker brings in the play.
2nd and 10 coming up here. Ball at the 38-yard line. 3 receivers on the far side of the field for Jack Schultz. Rolls to his left. Now rolls back inside the pocket. Gets it away. It's complete. Out to the 29-yard line. Nolan Beaker. Nice reception out there on the right sideline.
Number 87,
Kind of that boot waggle pass
tackled
there.
by number 51,
Intended for
Luke
Beaker.
for the Cadets.
That was good for. No, that was good enough to move the chains. I thought he was going to be short there.
On the Hilltop,
Ball at the 28-yard line. Shotgun set once again for Tiffin Calvert. 3:39 left to play here in the first half. Schultz back to pass. No. Handoff up the middle. Longo.
Oh, man.
Off the right side up to the 20-yard line. Leo Longo. Give him about
number
8 yards
Leo
on the game.
Longo on the carry. Tackled by number 4, Ethan Hardy.
Sets him up with a second down and about 3. Senecas have it at the 21-yard line. 3 receivers on the left side of the field. Schultz in the backfield with 1 back there with him. Nick Cipher on the right sideline. They're looking for Cipher. Loading up into the end zone. Cipher, just out of the outstretched hands of the senior receiver. He was right there, but Schultz just led him just a little too far with that one. He had a step on his man, too.
Yeah, if you're Hilltop, you almost guessed that Calvert was going to try to pound it at you there to get those 2 yards to convert. But Calvert going to the end zone on that one, looking for a big score. Still has another chance to convert here on a 3rd and 2.
Seems like one of those situations where it'd be perfect for a quarterback keeper.
You might get your wish here, Nate.
Schultz keeps it himself right up the middle, and he's got the first down.
And then some,
Inside
still on his
the
feet.
15, down to the 10-yard line. Jack Schultz fights his way down to the 10.
On the carry, down to the 10-yard line.
It's going to be a fresh set of downs.
Tackled by number 11, Connor Slauson. First and goal for the Senecas.
In years past, Senecas have always had that guy they can look for on 3rd down. I think this year, that's going to be Jack Schultz. That's the guy they're going to look to on 3rd down repeatedly, whether it be running the ball or throwing it. This is the guy this year for this team.
He definitely has a...
Schultz keeps it himself.
Ball
Comes the
out.
ball. It's out. It's on the ground. And let's see who recovers. Looks like it might. We got some Calvert players pointing towards the Senecas direction. A couple of players fighting for it on the ground here. Looks like they're going to say Calvert ball. They're lucky to keep possession there.
Schultz was on the run,
Schultz
flushed
on the
out of the
carry.
pocket.
Fumble recovered.
Having
by
a guy
the
chasing
Senecas.
down from behind, almost looked back for it, and another defender just punched it out from behind, causing them.
So Schultz lucky to get that one back.
Senecas, second down and goal.
Now second down and goal from the 3-yard line. Let's see what the Senecas draw up here. This second and goal.
Yeah, the Cadets, they would love to have a turnover here.
Schultz going to keep it himself off the left side and into the end zone for a touchdown.
Just walks it in on that.
Senecas.
Pretty much untouched. For the Seneca touchdown, puts them up 40-6 with 1:50 left here in the first half. That means starting in the second half, unless the Cadets can come up with a score here before we go to the locker room, we'll start the second half with a running clock. Is it now whenever it gets up to above 30?
Point after attempt is good.
So now that will start the running clock.
Your Calvert Senecas
150
41.
left here in the first
Hilltop
half.
Cadets 6.
And Seneca's up 41-6. 35-point advantage here.
We talked earlier in that, again, Tiffin Calvert, hats off to them being able to come out in this one with their hair on fire. They come out strong within the first 2 minutes and 35 seconds of the game with 2 touchdowns. And I said at that time, Nate, after they tagged on that 3rd score, I was like, The Cadets, they really have to do something to stop the bleeding here, because if you allow Calvert to continue to pour it on you, you're going to be facing another enemy, and that's that running clock. And now we find ourselves facing the 12th man.
And now this is going to be a tough task for Tiffin Calvert here, or for Hilltop here. You know, for the rest of this game, now they have two opponents, like you said, Tommy, and they've already had a hard enough time with one.
I'd say here in this week 1 matchup, again, the not having the benefit of a scrimmage, your toughest opponent in this one is yourself. Some mental mistakes, some mental lapses have cost this Hilltop team, but a return attempt by McEwen
Brings it up to about the 26-yard line. He fumbled the return initially. Picked it up, brought it forward for about a 6-yard
by
gain.
number 85, Lee Morgan. At number 25, Billy Klaus.
Yeah, Lee Morgan, Billy Klaus, on the stop. Puts Hilltop at the 25 to start this drive. They got a lot of work cut out for them.
Pistol set here. Two receivers on the near side of the field. Schlosser brings a man in motion. They fake it to the motion man. Get it away over the middle, and it's complete. He's got his man up to the about the 37-yard line.
Schlosser's pass completed number 88,
Isaac Baumgartner on the reception.
First down, Hilltop.
That's good enough for a first down for the Cadets. Now 1:27 left here in the first half. That clock continues to roll. Really no sense of urgency here from the Cadets.
Oh, you saw him looking down at the wristbands for the play for like that 2-minute offense. Well, he can't take 2 minutes to run it. And he's going to be gobbled up.
He's going to go down in the backfield for a loss. They'll bring him down right around the 32-yard line is where the mark is forward progress. And that'll bring up a
Schlosser,
third down.
in the backfield by number 53.
Or second down, I should say. Second down
McCarty.
and about 15.
I
think the Cadets use their final timeout.
You can't take them with you. Just in our first half of football, 24 minutes, Senecas find themselves with a hefty advantage to go in to the locker room at half. 41-6 over the Cadets right now. And Cadets just burned their last time out, talk things over as the clock's against them here, Nate. They're trying to get on the board. At one point, Calvert had a 21-0 advantage, or 20-0 advantage over the Hilltop Cadets. Hilltop able to put a score on the board to get that deficit down to 14, and that's about as close as it's been since the first quarter, Nate.
And this is a team that, other than that one drive, they really haven't been able to sustain any success here on the offensive side of the ball. And defensively, they really haven't found much of a way to stop this Calvert offense. So it's just been a struggle for this team early going. Already giving up 41 here in the first half.
Oh, he's going to be smashed in the backfield
is going
again.
to go down for a loss in the backfield, but it looks like there is a penalty on the play. Face mask is going to be the call.
Yeah, Ronsky, he came in high.
5-yard face mask. Defense.
Or Beaker.
Schlosser tackled in the backfield by number 87, Nolan Beaker.
Folks,
flag on the play.
Once these guys start sweating with these uniforms, it is next to impossible to be able to tell who's who from certain angles. Once the sun starts glaring off that window in here.
It doesn't help that Ronsky and Beaker are about the same height.
Exactly. They got about 3 guys that are right around the same height, so that are always around the ball.
Well, that's good. Those are good problems to have.
That's absolutely right.
Senecas.
Second down and 16 coming up. Hard count, and it looks like we're going to get encroachment on the defense.
Flag on the ball.
Defense. Second down.
Oh, that was a...
Right back up to the line. Hilltop. 3 receivers on the near side of the field for Connor Schlosser. He loads up on the left side. It's out. It's complete. He's got it out to McEwen. And Griffin McEwen up past the
That was a nice
36 to the 38-yard line.
That was a nice read by Beaker. He tried to come inside for it, but just got there a little early. Schultz able to come in, play cleanup there.
Here we go.
10 seconds left here in the first half. They might get one more playoff if they can get organized here. 4 seconds, 3, 2. Schlosser calls for the snap. He's got it. They got enough for one play. Schlosser gets it away. It's complete up to the 45 to the 48-yard line, and that's about it. That's where he'll go down, and that's the end of the first half. Tiffin Calvert all over Hilltop, 41-6. We'll step aside, take a timeout. We'll be back with the halftime show live from Frost-Kalnow Stadium. Once again, your score 41-6. Tiffin Calvert leading Hilltop. We'll be back after this. You're listening to your Seneca County Sports Connection, WTTF, AM 1600 and FM 93.3.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Today, the Calvert Marching Band will be performing some of their favorite tunes. They will begin with a very popular song performed by the band Deep Purple. This song tells the story of how the casino where Deep Purple was performing at in 1971 caught fire. Here is Smoke on the Water. This 2014 tune found its way to the number 10 on the Billboard Hot 100. Here is Centuries.
That play they ran earlier really was a good deal. Because he tosses it over to the halfback, and the halfback threw it back to the quarterback.
here at halftime. I want to take a moment to thank our sponsors for bringing you high school football all season long right here on the BAS Sports Radio Network, specifically right here on WTTF. Thanks to UIS Insurance and Investments, our pregame show sponsor, Chris Schieffer Insurance, Coppice Motors, Dundor Plumbing and Heating, First Bank of Tiffin, Fort Ball Pizza Palace, Great Lakes Ace Hardware, Harrison Price Insurance, Integrated Orthopedics, Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken, Lee's Floor Covering, Kibler's Shoes, Kuhn Sales and Service, NWO Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, Reineke Tiffin Ford Lincoln, Rogers Flowers, Superior Credit Union, Tiffin Brake and Wheel, Tiffin Deluxe Services, Tiffin University, and Your Legacy Federal Credit Union. And stick around for our postgame show brought to you by your friends at Frozone Frozen Yogurt. We got to step aside, take one more time out here in the halftime show. We'll be back. We'll break down the first half. We'll get you set for the second half of tonight's matchup between Tiffin Calvert and Hilltop right here on your Seneca County Sports Connection, AM 1600, FM 93.3, WTTF.
313. Once again, that number is 543-313. If you have the winning ticket, please come to the press box and collect $200. We have a winner of the 50-50, Nancy Cipher.
Hi, welcome back. We are live here at Frost-Kalnow Stadium for the start of the third quarter between Hilltop and Tiffin Calvert. Both teams are now coming onto the field. I think they're going to extend that halftime clock and give us another 3 minutes. I do see in my notes here that I'm supposed to take another break here, so I'm going to go ahead and slip aside, take that real quick so we can get back and still have a little bit of time to break down this matchup. All right, we'll step aside. We'll be right back. You're listening to High School Football right here on WTTF.
second half will be run with a running clock as long as Calvert maintains a 30-point lead.
I was like, I don't see him. This one's like right behind.
With Tiffin Calvert leading Hilltop 41-6. We'll start the second half with a running clock. Tommy, obviously the keys for the Senecas have been paying off here tonight. We talked about it at the beginning of the program. They got to stick with what works, and I think they really have with Schultz and the big targets that they have out there. They know the best way for them to succeed is to air it out and get the ball in the hands of those playmakers. And they've done an outstanding job of that so far here in the early going. But Jack Schultz putting on a show at the quarterback position. They're taking care of business on the defensive side of the ball. And this Senecas team looks primed and ready to start the season. Hilltop, on the other hand, just a slow start, and it looks like they've really kind of started out, you know, a lot of these miscues and a lot of the mistakes that we've seen here in the early going from Hilltop. A lot of it just looks like that early season jitters, and like we talked about, Tommy, this year, you don't have time for that this year.
Well, Calvert definitely looked polished coming into week one. You know, it started off Jack Schultz running in a 9-yard touchdown to start this game 7-0, not even a minute in. Then after a Hilltop fumble, Schultz hits Nick Cipher for an 8-yard touchdown, again, to put them up 13-0. Then just like, you know, Jack Schultz being the Oprah of Tiffin Calvert, you know, Leo Longo, here's a touchdown for you. Nolan Beaker, touchdown for you. Nick Cipher, touchdown for you. Just passing it all around, sharing the wealth as Tiffin Calvert able to be on top, 41-6 to start this second half. And also Hilltop gonna have to close that deficit down if they expect to stop that running clock that haunts them here in the second half as well.
That's going to be a key. They do have the opening possession of the second half. So it's going to be a key for this Cadets team to see if they can take this opening possession and march down the field, get it into the end zone to stop that running clock, because right now that's the opponent they need to worry about. Obviously, they got to come up with a way to stop Tiffin Calvert, but really, like, they've got to come up with a way to get back on the board and stop that running clock. That's the most important one right now, because without that, I mean, if they don't stop that running clock, it's going to be over in a heartbeat.
Yeah, absolutely. When you're trying to overcome a deficit like this, you just got to chip away at it little by little. But you can't waste any time. That sense of urgency has to be paramount as we kick off the second half of action here from Frost-Kalnow Stadium.
Chase Whitman with a nice return up past the 30, up around the 32-yard lines where they'll mark him down. And that's where the Cadets will take over for their first possession of the second half. Don't forget, folks, this Monday, the Scouting Report live from the WTTF studios in downtown Tiffin from the hours of 7 to 8 p.m. Josh Morgret going to be joining me on the program this week.
Love me some Josh Morgan.
Going to have Morgret on this week. We'll try to get in touch with one of these Tiffin coaches, see if we can get an interview with one of them as well. That's this Monday from 7 to 8 on WTTF, the Scouting Report. Schlosser with a decent little quarterback keeper there. Looked down the field, didn't see any options open, so decided to just tuck it and run, and picked up about 5 yards.
That's the nice thing about when you get that opportunity to go back in at halftime, is it allows you that time to take a breath and also give you a chance to communicate with the coach and make those adjustments that have definitely needed to be made from that first half of football.
Cadets come up to the line in a pistol set once again. 2 receivers on the far side. Takes the snap, and we got a penalty. Looks like a offsides penalty.
Flag on the play.
Dead ball. Encroachment.
I'll
Defense.
say that.
Second down.
That was an encroachment penalty.
You gotta get on the ball as the clock still rolls.
Because offsides wouldn't have been a dead
Correction.
ball.
Yardage results in a first down.
Offsides, they'd have kept that play going. But the defense just jumps into the neutral zone.
Still, Nate, as you're talking and they're meandering around down there, that clock rolls. This has got to be your sense of urgency drive in order to stop that clock like you talked about.
You got to run that 2-minute offense here.
Yep.
You're down to 10 minutes now here in the third quarter. Already wasted 2 minutes with just the first few plays here. Schlosser fakes the handoff, now gives it off on the left side. That's Swanee Richmond on the carry, gets it up near midfield. He'll mark him down at the 48-yard line.
Richmond on the carry. Tackled by number 9, Ethan Vera.
4-yard gain, close to 5 there. 2nd and 5 coming up.
Yeah, we talk about that definition of insanity is doing something over and over again, expecting a different result. Well, this Hilltop squad, we talk about Swanee Richmond, who's had a few touches of the ball in this game, but man, every time he gets one, he's able to break it off. You'd think that they'd go to the well a little bit more with him.
Pistol set, 2 backs in the backfield with Schlosser. He brings a man in motion. They fake it. Now they give it to the blocking back here.
Oh, but he's just going to be...
Baumgartner has nowhere to go. Swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage and driven backwards.
And the JYD, Jack Schultz, kind of lifts his opponent and drives him into the ground.
Do you think he knows that's his nickname?
I don't care.
Because he needs to know, because that's a great nickname.
Like I said, this guy, for his entire football and basketball career, kind of looked to as a utility role player, plug-and-play type guy, but now has the command past 2 seasons at quarterback for this Calvert squad. Coming into his own.
Deep down the right sideline and incomplete as Jackson Sislove back deep in coverage breaks the pass up.
And I tell you what, for a junior, this Jackson Sislove coming into this season, limited, not as much experience as some of these other guys, he's really showing out. He's coming down with some great plays for this Calvert squad on defense.
He seems to have a nose for the football, especially on the defensive side of the ball. 4th and 5 coming up here.
Well, I know if I was if I was related to Maryland, I'd be
field.
playing offensive line. So with them cookies she bakes.
3 receivers on the near side of the field. They're going for it here. Schlosser rolls to the right, rolling, gets it away. It's complete. They've got the first down up to the 43-yard line inside Seneca territory.
Yeah, and again, the Hilltop getting a couple different guys into the mix now. Wyatt Belt catches the defender sleeping, comes down with it.
And I'm always like,
They'll say he's down at the 44.
Oh my.
First and 10 coming up here for the Cadets. Pistol set. Nice 4th down conversion there by the Cadets to keep this drive alive. Already 5 minutes off the clock just on this drive alone. Short gain up to the 42.
It looks like the pins of one of the Hilltop players might have came out from under him. Saw 51 Hunter Luke grabbing that calf knee area.
Yeah, it's definitely not good. Junior offensive lineman.
Well, you know, with so much busy work going on in the world, you kind of overlook some of those week 1 problems that you have when you come into the game. You know, you do deal with cramping, you do deal with some of these early injuries when you get to game time. So again, week 1 mistakes and cramping, those are all things that you expect to happen in week 1 of high school football. That's always a good sign to be able to be up on your own power.
So Luke able to, looks like he's going to walk off on his own power here. That's good. Good to see. Definitely some kind of a cramping issue.
Just a reminder, if you're just joining us in this second half, you can go ahead and catch some of this game live over on our Facebook page with a direct link to the game, along with some live video feeds. And keep you here with us if you're not able to attend the game in these unprecedented times, Nate. So we go to unprecedented measures. Show a solidarity between both teams, taking a knee, now getting up, strapping on the helmets, get back to action. Once again, 6:49 remaining here in this third quarter, live from Frost-Kalnow Stadium for week 1 of the high school football season between the Tiffin Calvert Senecas and the Hilltop Cadets. Hilltop with the ball on the 44 in the shotgun. Sends a man in motion. Quarterback's going to keep it.
Schlosser with a short gain, close to the 40-yard line. Maybe a yard or two.
Tackled by number 67,
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
Third down and 6 coming up here. 6:14 left to play here in the third quarter.
And when you hear the Shane O'Mac theme here at Tiffin Calvert, Frost-Kalnow Stadium,
You know it's a different time.
you know it's the money down.
Pistol set. Schlosser calls for the snap. Gets it out on the left side. It is dropped by the receiver.
That
I
was
think
behind the
That
line.
should be a fumble. That's a backwards pass. And that is indeed Calvert ball. Should be anyway. Yes, Tiffin Calvert takes over at the 45-yard line. Jack Schultz, JYD coming down with the play there.
You talk about having a nose for the football. That's another guy. Just sticks his nose in there, gets after it. Each and every down. You'd love to have yourself 11 Jack Schultz on either side of the ball.
Mm-hmm.
.5:30 remaining in the third quarter. This clock continues to roll. Hilltop turned the ball over.
Schultz back to pass, gets it away, complete. Up past midfield, inside Cadet territory down to the 49-yard line. Blake Ronsky on the reception. They mark him down at the 48, second down and 3 coming up. 4:50 left to play here in the third quarter. Senecas, shotgun formation. Schultz, handoff. Longo up the middle, has the first down. Inside the 45, down to the 43-yard line. Leo Longo with the carry. Good for 5 yards there and a first down. You know, with last year, Aaron Rumback, the feature back for Tiffin Calvert, we didn't really know who was going to take the bulk of the carries this year. Longo, of course, kind of an undersized back, but really a tough kid for his size. Plays bigger than his size, that's for sure. He's getting the starting nod, and he's doing pretty well here tonight. Now into the game. That was Ethan Vera on the carry. Pretty sure that was number 9 anyway.
I'll tell you this much. This is about, and again, you know, everyone kind of goes with what they're given, but this Tiffin Calvert squad is about as polished of a team that I've seen week 1 for this particular squad since Steve Reeser's taken over as head coach.
I would agree. Absolutely.
They really came out here and they're executing on both sides of the ball.
Vera takes the handoff. No, fake the handoff. Nice fake.
Come on,
by
Nate.
Schultz. What a great fake. He really sold the fake, though, for a while. It was great. Schultz on the keeper, picks up the first down to the 31-yard line. Even had me fooled.
Yeah.
I like it. Definitely had the defense fooled as he was out there by himself.
31-yard line.
Well, I mean, this Schultz, he can just make those in-game, on-the-fly adjustments. I kind of got after him on that first carry of the game when he kind of hesitated on, committing to the run, but thus far, he knows exactly what he wants to do.
Schultz gets it out to the right side. It's incomplete. They were looking for Love. Just a little too hot there.
Number 11, Jackson Love.
Unable to come up with that one. 2nd and 10 coming up here. Down to 2:35 left here in the third quarter. This has been a very fast third quarter of action here, thanks to the running clock. Schultz in the shotgun with 3 receivers on the far side of the field. Takes the snap.
Blitz coming.
Going to keep it himself off the right side. Nice stiff arm there by Schultz to get some extra running room. And he is out of bounds, close to the 25-yard line. They'll mark him out right around the 26.
Well, Ty Creamer coming off the end. Jack Schultz takes his coffee black, puts a stiff arm out on him, is able to turn it up for some.
That's great. That was dynamite.
Turn it up for about 5 yards.
We had to remember that one. Where was that in the hour log? 3rd and 5 coming up here for Tiffin Calvert. Ball marked at the 26-yard line. 1:35 left to play here in the third quarter. Schultz takes the snap. Unloads off to the right. It's complete. He's got Cipher inside the 20, down around the 17-yard line is where they'll mark him out.
And I mean, that is such a luxury to have on a 3rd and 5 situation, 3rd and short situation, if you will. Also, when you have that big, tall receiver, you can just do a quick pitch and catch. It doesn't have to go for big yards. It just has to go for enough yards for you to convert and get that first down. And now, again, Tiffin Calvert Senecas inching their way.
Back up to the line, 1st and 10. Schultz takes the snap, handoff off the right side. Bob Price on the carry. And short gain up to about the 15-yard line. Bob Price, the junior, another one of those tall options, 6'3". Sees his action at the running back position. Price once again in the backfield with Schultz. 2nd down and 8 coming up. They need to get it to the 7-yard line to convert the first. Schultz, pressure coming from the right, gets it away, and one-handed catch! What an outstanding catch by Nick Cipher. Goes out of bounds at the 2-yard line.
Whew. Reaches out them tall limbs, snags it, and just brings it back in. Foot in, and converts for that first down. And that's going to be the end of the third quarter.
Wow. All right, folks, that was a quick third quarter of action, but we're going to step aside, take a timeout. We'll come back for the exciting conclusion of tonight's ball game between Tiffin Calvert and Hilltop, with the Senecas leading the Cadets 41-6 as we head to the fourth quarter. We'll be back after this. You're listening to AM 1600, FM 93.3, WTTF. We start the fourth quarter of action. Tiffin Calvert, first and goal. Ball at the 2-yard line after an outstanding catch by Nick Cipher. And Bob Price is going to take the handoff and carry it into the end zone for the touchdown. Quick play there by the Senecas. Puts them up 47-6 with 11:53 left to play here in the ball game.
Yeah, almost untouched. This Price, big hole opens up. Able just to walk it in. Senecas.
Extra point attempt is up, and it is good.
48-6 now. I mean, with a little less than a quarter to go with a running clock, trying to make up this 42-point deficit. Chances kind of were slim to none, but I think Slim just left the building, Nate.
42-point deficit for the Cadets. Now all that's left is to try to make something out of this last 12 minutes here. See if you can put something together, put together a couple decent drives, and maybe get some rhythm going into week 2.
Well, yeah, I mean, whenever...
Because that's about all you can do here.
When things are falling apart for you, that's not the time to abandon your game plan. You got to get as many reps as you can right now with the inexperience that you lost out on with not being able to have a scrimmage earlier on in the season. So these live rounds for the Cadets, like I said, week 1, growing pains is mental miscues, penalties. They've all helped bury the Cadets early on in this game that kind of leads us to where we're at, 48-6, with the Senecas on top right now.
So Tiffin Calvert set to kick off here. Chase Whitman on the return, brings it back to the 25, to the 30, and he's spun around and he spins forward to about the 33-yard line.
Chase Whitman on the return. By number 7,
That's kind of one of those things you might want to look at too. I mean, I know you got the advantage here, but you're kicking your special teams. I mean, if you got a guy that's returning it on you for more than 15, 25 yards, probably just start kicking away from him.
That's right.
Because as we've seen,
Just get a little squib kick down the middle.
yeah, as we've
If they're going to
seen-
get it at the 30 anyway. Pistol set here. Connor Schlosser comes out to lead the Cadets. Senior quarterback, back to pass. Unloads to the left side, and it is complete. He's got Whitman at about the 40-yard line. And Chase Whitman picks up about 8 yards on the reception. Sets up Hilltop with a 2nd down and 2. Down to 10:45 left to play here in the ball game as that clock continues to roll. Schlosser takes the snap. Looking, unloads deep and is well overthrown. Looking for Griffin McEwen. McEwen was at about the 40 and that ball hit down around the 25, so.
McEwen falls incomplete.
Schlosser just unable to come up with any kind of a rhythm here today with his receivers.
I was just about to say, Nate,
Here we go. Money talk.
just the biggest thing clearing offensively is the inability to get on the same page with these receivers.
You can tell they have a passing offense. They want to move the ball through the air, but there's just no chemistry.
Oh, and it's
nearly intercepted, but dropped. Defender was right there to make the play. I believe that looks like Nolan Beaker.
Should bring up 4th down.
Yes, that was who it is. Nolan Beaker nearly had that one. but unable to come up with it.
Lost pass broken up by number 87, Nolan Beecher.
Schlosser rolls, pressure
He's
from
gonna get
behind.
chased down.
He gets rid of it and throws it out of bounds wisely, but that's still going to be a turnover on downs. I don't know what. Wait, actually, we got a flag back here at about the 30-yard line. Intentional grounding is going to be the call against the quarterback, as there was nobody anywhere near where he threw the ball.
Loss of down.
And I don't think he was outside the tackle box when he got rid of it, so. So the ball be spotted at the 29. Actually, they'll say that. Let's see where they spot this. Yep, at the 25-yard line.
Now, William.
Calvert
Chain
offense
gangs
trying to
I
figure
was
out
gonna say
what's
Calvert
going on.
offense is gonna have to take over because that should be a loss of downs.
That is.
I was about to say because I just intentionally grounded on every third down, didn't go my way.
All right. Shotgun set. And now the younger Schultz, Harry Schultz, the freshman, comes in at the quarterback position. Handoff off the left side.
Harry Schultz, another dog in the yard.
Jacob Rumback, I think, is the player in the game at the current moment. They have him listed as 28 on the roster, but he's in there with a number 8 on his jersey. Same with Quentin Ronski. He's listed as 24, but he's wearing 67 tonight. So handoff, and that's a nice carry there by Rumback.
Number 8, Jacob Rumback, carry. First down, Senecas.
Gets that ball down to the 13-yard line. Rumback with a nice carry there. That means Jeff Hammer will be at games for at least another 4 years now. So we got 3 receivers on the near side of the field here. First and 10, ball at the 13-yard line. Schultz, handoff, and not a whole lot doing there. I think he wanted to pull that one back. I think there was an option there for the quarterback to keep it, and he wanted to pull it back, but it just...
I think a lot of mounted frustration for Isaac Baumgartner as he finally gets in there and gets himself a big hit.
Loss of 4 on the play. Ball spotted at the 17-yard line. Once again, Harry Schultz, the freshman quarterback, into the game now for Tiffin Calvert. 1 receiver on the near side of the field. Schultz takes the snap, loads it up to the left. Ooh, a left-handed quarterback here. Gets it away, complete to the receiver, inside the 5, down around the 3. We've got penalty flags coming in from both sides. We'll see what the marker is.
I tell you what, the young southpaw, he can rifle that one.
That was a nice pass out there to the left side.
10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Second down.
Holding against Tiffin Calvert. Spot foul occurred right around the 6-yard line, so put them right around the 16. So second and...
Getting some of these guys some varsity time, as we talked about being so important. Getting that experience under the big lights. I'm gonna say Friday night lights, but we're calling this game on Saturday. We want to thank you for joining us here on WTTF.
I don't think we're going to need the lights tonight, though. It's going to be over well before it gets dark. Schultz in the shotgun. 3 receivers on the far side of the field. Schultz over the middle, gets it complete to his receiver down to the 2-yard line. That's, I believe,
Harry Schultz, pass completed to number 25.
Billy Klaus on the reception, number 25. And it's going to be first and goal from the 1.
1 yard line.
Now Harry Schultz in the shotgun formation. 3 receivers on the near side of the field, 1 back in the backfield. Schultz takes the snap, handoff off the right side. Running back pulls his head forward and comes up about a yard short. So no gain on the run by Jacob Rumback. Second and goal coming up here. Now inside of 5 minutes to play here in the ball game.
Goal for the Senecas.
This young Calvert squad here trying to drive in for a touchdown, but also continues to have this clock roll. Pitch
Schultz
out.
pitch to the left, and Rumback is going to carry his way into the end zone, but there's a flag about 5 yards deep in the end zone. We'll see what the flag is.
Well, young Harry Schultz, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt that his pitch out looks a little bit better than his big brother.
No foul. They're going to pick up the penalty, and that score will count.
The Zebras are just kind of like,
So Jacob Rumback with his first touchdown as a Seneca. It comes at the 4:30 mark of this 54-6 blowout by the Senecas.
like we talked about, this one just kind of got out of hand for the Hilltop Cadets, as this extra point is no good. Looked like it had the distance.
Must have been just a bit right. 4:30 left to play here tonight. Big win for the Senecas, 54-6. The Cadets, well, they're going to have to go back and regroup, because this is definitely something you're going to have to learn from. You don't want to just throw away this tape. It's week one. You're going to have to learn something from this.
Well, it's definitely a hard lesson in week one to learn. But it's like I've always said, you always learn more from a loss than you ever will a win.
Absolutely.
So again, for the Cadets, you know, they came in here and they played a full 48 minutes. It just, like I said, their worst enemy tonight was themselves. And then we talk about those two other opponents they had, the Senecas and the running clock. I mean, for as much as things went right for the Calvert Senecas here tonight, just as much can be said for as much went wrong for the Hilltop Cadets.
Yeah, absolutely, Tom. That's a great point. Because, yeah, it was it's a dichotomy between these two teams. I mean, just stark contrast. Kickoff fielded at the 25, brought up to the 30, to the 40, 45, 50, driven out of bounds past the 50 up to the 45-yard line.
We ain't going to get that call on the home sideline.
Ethan Varney on the return.
They cleaned him up a little late.
Once again, another great showing here. Despite the capacity limits, the Calvert faithful showing their support for the Senecas here tonight. Hilltop takes over at the Seneca 45. Under center now. First time we've seen that. They turn around, hand off, up the middle, and about a 5-yard gain there for Alex Swanee Richmond.
They run a little trap there. Allowed Richmond to get up to the next level.
We've said something about this kid. He's a junior, Swanee Richmond. It seems like every time they give him the ball, he's able to make something happen, Tommy. Kind of confusing as to why he's not seeing more action, because he's definitely one of the playmakers for this offense.
Yeah, that's what we talk about. You know, that just kind of goes with the growing pains as you try to find what works for your staff. And we know Coach Steve Reeser, he kind of went through that in his 2019 campaign, trying to find what works and where guys fit. As
that time he was gobbled up behind the line of scrimmage. 2-yard loss there for Swanee Richmond.
Couldn't quite see who made the tackle on that one, but that was like number 3. Jamison Godfrey.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
Varsity debut, getting himself back. 2 minutes, 48 seconds remain. Clock continues to roll with the running clock as Calvert with a commanding 54-6 lead.
Pitch out to the left. And nothing doing there as Swanee Richmond is gobbled up in the backfield by Rumback. Jacob Rumback on the tackle. Now down to 2:22 left here in the ball game. 4th down coming up for the Cadets. And that's got to be frustrating. So out comes the punt unit. Griffin McEwen back deep to punt. Jameson Godfrey back deep to return for the Senecas.
Timeout. Hilltop.
Timeout called by the Cadets.
I was just about to say, I mean, whether it's a little or a lot, 1 point or a million points, when you kind of know that you're going to be in the L column, I don't really see much reason to punt.
That's kind of what I was thinking. Like, just give you guys, keep them out there, give them a chance for it.
Unless you need those reps too. But that's never the reps.
I think they got plenty of punting reps today.
Those are never the reps you want to practice.
Hey, Kevin, your iPad's up here.
What do you mean both? You only had one. Schlosser late to get the play in. Down to 10 seconds on the play clock as he runs in from the sideline. They do decide to go for it. They don't have, they can't call another timeout. 3 seconds. Now Schlosser back to pass. Loads up and he's brought down. But they're going to get a penalty on the sack. Number
Bob
2.
Price, he was high on that one.
Bob Price just went a little too high on the sack. Let's see what the flag is.
No flag.
They pick up the flag, no penalty. So Tiffin Calvert will take over on downs back at the 43-yard line inside Cadet territory. 1:19 left to play here in the ball game. Once again, folks, don't forget this Monday we'll be live in the WTTF studios with the Scouting Report from 7 to 8 p.m. breaking down this week's action in sports and getting you set for next week, where we'll bring you once again another double dose of high school football. As next Friday, September 4th, we'll be right back here at Frost-Kalnow Stadium as Sandusky takes on Columbian. And then on Saturday, we'll be right back here once again for Fremont St. Joe at Tiffin Calvert. That's next weekend, another double dose of high school football right here on WTTF.
Yeah, a tremendous showing by the Tiffin teams this weekend as Tiffin Columbian kicked off their season. with a win over Port Clinton. Now Tiffin Calvert running their favorite formation, the victory formation, as first teamers come back in. Jack Schultz takes the snap. Yeah, I think that's it, Nate.
That'll be it. That'll do it. That's the end of tonight's ball game. Tiffin Calvert with a big win, 54-6 over the Hilltop Cadets. We're going to go ahead and step aside and take a timeout. When we come back, we'll break down tonight's game and get you set for the scouting report coming up on Monday. Once again, 54-6, your final score. Tiffin Calvert starting out this season 1-0. Step aside, take a timeout. We'll be right back after this. You're listening to high school football right here on WTTF.
Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Calvert Catholic Schools, the Athletics Department, we ask that you do not congregate in the parking lot, maintain your social distancing due to COVID restrictions. Please do our part to keep these kids playing. Thank you very much. Have a great evening.
Start the season off that way after a lot of uncertainty, a lot of unknowns. But one thing that is known, the Senecas will start this season 1-0, and they'll be 1-0 when we return next Saturday for that game against Fremont St. Joe, live from Frost-Kalnow Stadium once again. I'm not sure if that one will have a 5 p.m. or a 7 p.m. kickoff. We'll try to keep you up to date on that as best we can, but you can follow our Facebook page for that.
It's my understanding that this was the only game that's going to be a 5 o'clock start, but we're also to understand that that could change. So we'll just go with what they tell us. See it.
We just don't learn.
Someone might have had a call that
Tonight's post-game show is brought to you by Frozen Yogurt. Tiffin Cipher Premium Frozen Yogurt. We'll head back to the podium after this on the BAS Sports Radio Network.
All right, welcome back to Frost-Kalnow Stadium, where Tiffin Calvert dispatched the Hilltop Cadets. 54-6 is your final score. You're listening to the Frozone Frozen Yogurt post-game show. Nate Mullins up here in the press box with Tommy Hall. We've had Greg Kinn manning the cameras down along the sidelines. We really want to thank him for all of his work tonight. I think, folks, if I'm being honest, that video stream worked out a lot better tonight than it did last night. The quality was so much better. Latency issues were not really an issue this evening. So I think we've kind of worked out our bugs. We've worked out what we had to with the video stream, and I think with what we were able to provide for this weekend, for a free option for fans to view the game, I mean, it's just, to me, it makes me feel good about the production level that we're able to give to the fans here in Tiffin, fans of not only WTTF, but Tiffin Calvert and Tiffin Columbian, so that, you know, people that were not able to make it to the games they were able to have another option to digest the game at home, whether it was, listening on their mobile app or listening on WTTF.com, the usual way, obviously, with terrestrial radio at AM 1600 or FM 93.3, but also to give them the option of being able to watch live, whether it be on Facebook or YouTube or with the direct link to the actual stream itself. It just, like I said, it makes me feel good about what we're able to provide for these fans, because I think it was a job well done. Tommy, what about you?
Oh, absolutely. Just everyone in general that helped make the season possible for us to have football. It's great to kind of get back to a little bit sense of normalcy, get some, be able to provide another outlet for people to kind of put the outside world in their rearview mirror and enjoy some high school football the way it's meant to, for you to be able to see those loved ones put that on display, put all that hard work on display that they put in over the summer after not being guaranteed a season.
Once again, I want to take just a small moment here to thank our sponsors, but folks, please take some time out of your day to go visit these sponsors, because they are supporting your local sports, your local teams, and your local community. Thanks to UIS Insurance and Investments, our pregame show sponsor, Chris Schieffer Insurance, Coppice Motors, Dundor Plumbing and Heating, First Bank of Tiffin, Fort Ball Pizza Palace, Great Lakes Ace Hardware in Tiffin, Harrison Price Insurance, Integrated Orthopedics, Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken, Lee's Floor Covering, Kibler's Shoes, Kuhn Sales and Service, NWO Orthopedics, Reineke Tiffin Ford Lincoln, Rogers Flowers, Superior Credit Union, Tiffin Brake and Wheel, Tiffin Deluxe Services, Tiffin University, and Your Legacy Federal Credit Union. Once again, you're listening to the Frozone Frozen Yogurt postgame show. We're going to step aside and take a time out. When we come back, we'll wrap things up from Frost-Kalnow Stadium. Once again, your final score, Tiffin Calvert 54, Hilltop 6. We'll be back after this on WTTF.